Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I wanted to talk about the Los Angeles Clippers allegedly being interested in Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday's making just a little bit over $32 million. And the Clippers are a team that they're expected to make a decision on either extending Norman Powell or using him as a trade chip. And whatever team that trades for him would extend him, and they would use him to upgrade the roster. Now, this initial report that we're discussing today about the Clippers being interested in Jrue Holiday is one that's coming from MassLive. MassLive has been doing a bunch of reporting around this situation for the last couple of days. Link will be in the description. So it goes that Holiday is expected to be pursued by several teams on the trade market as he's on a contract that has several years remaining, and he did look like he might have started to decline due to father time, even though he's an effective player. Now he's 34 years old, and MassLive says that the Clippers are one of the teams expected to show interest in the 34-year-old guard. The Celtics actually outbid the Clippers, per sources, for Holiday back in 2023 when the Portland Trailblazers made him available, which ended up being Malcolm Brogdon, Robert Williams, and 2 future first-round picks for Holiday to come to the Celtics, which led them to winning a championship. How would the Clippers be able to trade for Jrue Holiday? Well, the Celtics are at like $220 million. The second apron is, let's say, I think 207, and the first apron's 197. So they have to cut salary, the Celtics, and the expectation is Jrue Holiday and probably Kristaps Porzingis and Jrue Holiday, or both. Now the Clippers, they're at 174, which is just under the floor, so they got hella cap room, and this is if they kept everybody on the team, which is mainly expected to run back. And the 2 trade chips, if you guys see the video that I did with Eric Pincus when we talked about the Bogdanovich and Norman Powell combined, get you to like $36.5 million in tradable salary. Wow, that's a pretty nice deal. Obviously, you wouldn't be sending all that to Boston. Bogdan would probably be sent to a team like Brooklyn, which would have to be compensated to lease out their cap space, and then they would buy out Bogdanovich, and Norman Powell would then be sent to probably a 4th team because the Celtics don't want to incur that salary. And the Celtics would more than likely try to just take on draft compensation, or maybe tell the Nets, hey, just send us like Jalen Wilson and maybe one or other guy. And if we had to say where would Norman Powell go, what's a team that needs a shooting guard? It becomes difficult. I think you'd have to see other teams looking to make moves along the margins, and this would have to probably be part of a bigger deal. Now, would there be another deal in the works? That how much salary can the Clippers take back, per se, if we wanted to just do like, hey, the Clippers are interested in maybe sending Norman Powell, and the Celtics are able to save $14 million that way. I mean, it's possible because the Celtics maybe believe that they still can contend, and they want a guy to help fuel their offense next to Jaylen Brown by committee. And if you move Jrue Holiday, it gets you $12.4 million under the second apron and $560,000 under the first, which gives you an idea of what type of compensation they would probably want. Which, if you could find a team, as we said earlier, like the Nets, where you say, okay, hey, Bogdan, let's send you to Brooklyn. And Brooklyn is, you guys can imagine the compensation, because compensation, I feel like, wildly varies, whereas like person to person. So over here, in my opinion, Jalen Wilson and maybe a Tyrese Martin go to the Celtics. And in this case, would this deal be able to go through something along this lines? As the whole holdup for me is, yeah, okay. If you wanted to do a deal like this, you'd have to cut a little bit more salary of the Clippers, because it can't just be Bogdan, but can it be like the Celtics also get Jrue Eubanks? And as I said earlier, it's about $8 million, because you're able to use your exceptions now in these trades. But if you're a team like the Clippers, maybe you are trying to keep as much talent. And that's where I get, not confused, but I wonder, would you then use a Cam Christie and a Kobe Brown? Obviously, like here you have the trade chips being Kobe Brown and Cam Christie instead of draft picks going to the Nets. And then the deal ends up being something along the lines, you guys probably saw at the beginning of the video, but the Celtics get Jrue Eubanks, Jalen Wilson, Tyrese Martin. You can put whatever draft capital you want to make it trade sweetener. That gets them $25 million in saved salary, $3.2 million under the second apron. That puts them $8.6 million over the first apron. Jrue Holiday comes onto the Clippers, and this allows them to do the deal with $480,000 of allowable income amount, and the Clippers just have to give up Bogdanovich, Kobe Brown, and Cam Christie to the Nets. I don't think that's a crazy trade. We'll put it here at the end of the video, but I think, to me, the Celtics did a backup center, some young filler role players that they could cut or they can keep and see what they do. But all in all, I mean, if you're a Celtics fan, that one works out well. Kobe Brown and Cam Christie are young guys that the Nets can take a flyers on, see if they work out or not. But to me, this is the type of trade, if you're a fan, it makes sense to me, because usually you put maybe some draft capital, but if there's no draft capital, it's Kobe Brown and Cam Christie. What's convincing the Nets to buy out Bogdan? And the Celtics, they're getting cap room and some young dudes and a backup big man. So to me, I think it's a situation where everybody wins. I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section about this one. I do think it's interesting.